you, McKenna. Okay, now we're going to restart here. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. So, thank you so much for being here this evening. We appreciate your time. We are planning to keep this a fairly short call, but we just love getting on here. So, my name is Julia. I'm a registered nurse of 24 years, and I just recently stepped away from the bedside to share Plexus with people full time and educate and coach people on their gut health because as a nurse over the last few years, I have seen, and I think we all have seen, that lived through the last few years, the importance of investing in your health. And gut health is starting to come to surface from so many aspects, including our medical field, of how important it is and how it affects not only your gut microbiome in itself, but the longevity of your life. So I'm super pumped to share that with you tonight. But before we get started, I asked a sweet friend of mine, that has been on the product since last fall and has seen some really, really great results with them to come and share her story tonight. So I'm going to introduce real quick Miss Amy Montgomery. She's going to jump on here and share her story with you. And I'm just so blessed, so incredibly blessed that she's here. So Amy, take it away.
Hi, everybody. Again, like I said, this is Amy. I started Plexus in October, so the fall of last year, after I had finally met my goal, my weight loss goal from trying to get my A1Cs down to a healthy level. Lost 40 pounds. Finally decided to start Plexus, and I have seen a lot of great results with it. My eczema on my arms, I used to have a lot of eczema on my arms just below my shoulder. That is nearly gone. Um, I've added a little bit of the hunger control. I was on, the hot GLP-1 stuff that's on, that's all out there right now. I have completely gone off of that, and I am strictly doing Plexus. With the hunger control and adding the triplex, as well as kind of starting to do the active. And I ordered some more of the active today, so I'm trying to get off of those little lovely energy drinks as well. So I've actually known Julia for a lot of years, really. I've seen her kind of grow up as well. So we're kind of related by family a little bit, but I have really enjoyed using the products. They've just really been kind of a game changer for me, and maintaining my weight as well as my gut health has really changed a lot. So I have really enjoyed this journey that I've been on with Plexus. So I love to be able, I'm hoping my testimony can help others and encourage them to. It takes time. It's been a challenging road for me for a lot of years to get to a healthy weight, to get rid of the diabetes, and this Plexus has really begun to help me with that. So thank you, Julia, for introducing me to that. It took me a little while to pull the trigger, but I'm glad that I did. So I thank you so much for that, Julia. I really do.
You are so welcome, girl. I'm just super grateful that you trusted me, and I appreciate that because it means the world to me. But I am even more grateful that you trusted yourself and jumped into it because now you're seeing how much better you can feel, and we are designed to feel. And I would love for you to share your lab results this last time.
My last lab results that we ran were 5.1, down
And where did
from,
you start?
huh? I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. You were just answering what I was asking.
That's okay. Yeah, they were a 5.1 the last time they ran that. That was about a couple of weeks ago. So that, for me, that's testimony enough that I no longer need the diabetes medication to help. It tells me enough that the Plexus is helping me to maintain that A1C level, which my doctors are extremely pleased with my numbers. And I'm still getting a lot of complaints from friends saying, you're losing weight, you're looking thinner in the face. So it tells me that, I'm still on that great path of continuing to be healthy. And I've really been enjoying this. So
That's awesome. What did your A1C start at?
they were 8.3.
Okay. So if you guys are unfamiliar, thank you so much, Amy, for sharing that. You were such a blessing to me, my friend. If you guys are unfamiliar, so an A1C is something that they check on a regular basis on people who have diabetes, or people who are pre-diabetic, potentially pre-diabetic, right? And so a lot of times an A1C is typically supposed to be under 6. We like it to be in that 5 range, if not below. And Amy's, of course, with a lot of diabetes, was higher than that. And I think that is one of the biggest, probably to me, one of the biggest eye-opening times when I was first starting this was when people would come to me and be like, I haven't changed anything, but my labs are all normal. And I used to have issues with cholesterol, my A1C. There's a lot of other ones that there's been a couple people with like anemia and things like that that are coming to me and they're like, the gut health stuff is the only thing I've changed. And I think that is truly a testament to some of the testing and the stuff that's coming out with education anymore about how gut health is truly very imperative to your overall health. It's not just about your gut, it's about your blood pressure, it's about your electrolyte status, it's about the nutrition of your full body. And one of the things, so as a nurse, when it goes to like medicine and things like that, I'm a firm believer that medication is helpful for people that are in a bind. But the one thing I always struggled with was trying to help educate even doctors that educate medicating people for lifelong is not really beneficial to them. There's very few medications that should be given as a lifelong treatment. Most medications should be given for a short period of time to be able to address until we're able to address the root cause of the problem. And that's where I think a lot of times in medicine, unfortunately, we fall short because most physicians or most medical minded people either don't understand that there is a root cause behind it, don't have the time to address the root cause, or just aren't willing to. And that is where I fell in love with Plexus, because when I started finding and hearing testimonies and seeing my own friends and family come to me saying, oh my gosh, my thyroid numbers are better. Oh my gosh, my blood sugar numbers are better. Like all these different things. My sister was a classic example. She came to me with fatty liver disease, started on the products, and within 6 months, now remind, just like Amy said, gut health isn't a quick fix. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I always try to make sure everybody understands is that gut health is a it is a process, it is a journey, and it is one that technically we should all be on. I mean, everybody, your friends, my friends, our families, we should all have good gut health supplements because there is so much backing it that it actually is something that's necessary for life. And when she started on those, within 6 months, all of her lab levels were normal. And she had always had high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and fatty liver disease means that your numbers for your liver are at least potentially like super high, if not doubled. And so the fact that her numbers completely resolved was amazing to me. So what is gut health? Why is it so imperative? What does it affect? Some symptoms that you may look for when you think of gut health could be chronic fatigue or just constantly feeling tired, feeling foggy in the head. If you guys ever had that brain fog feeling, obviously indigestion. Indigestion was a big one. That was my testimony when I started. I actually started for energy. I was a tired nurse working a lot of hours, and I needed something that was healthy for me because I was starting to have a lot more heartburn. I had been on medication for heartburn for at least 8 years. And so at that point, because my heartburn was getting worse, I was considering taking double the amount of medication, like taking it in the morning and the evening to try to stay on it because it was so bad. And so I found out about these. Well, I didn't even know it was a gut health company initially. I just wanted it for the energy. But then Cassie educated me on how gut health is so imperative. And then she started asking me questions. Do you have anxiety? Do you have heartburn? Do you have IBS or bowel issues? Are you constipated? Or are you just really irregular? Like all these things, bloating. That I was like, well, I mean, I do have that, but that's like a genetic thing, right? Like that's literally somebody from a medical field thinking, oh, that's just genetic, but it doesn't have to be. And I think that was my biggest aha moment is once I was 3 months in and noticed that I didn't need any of my medicines anymore. And I was literally able to come off of my heartburn medicine. I was just like, oh my gosh, there's something different about these. And the reason I bring that up is because my husband and I, we've always been supplement takers. We've always known the importance of investing in your health and pouring back nutrients into your bodies. You guys, here's something that's really crazy that I think is really imperative to note these days. I talk to many people that are like, well, I'm just going to try to do it through food and that sort of thing. And I say, good job. You should be eating good food. And that is incredible. That is how we all should be eating. But the problem is a study came out just it was in 2023. And I can't remember, I want to say it was spring of 2023, but study came out that said comparatively, they had, if you take an orange that was grown back in the 50s, okay, compare it to the nutrients of the oranges that we have nowadays, you would literally have to eat 5 of those oranges to make up the one fruit that you would have eaten 50 or back in the 1950s. So that's 70 years ago. That is long, but it's not all that long ago. But the fact that our food doesn't hold the amount of nutrition that a lot of us think it does, is really good to know, because that tells me that supplementation is becoming imperative, because we can't truly get all of the nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that we need in our food. I don't know about you, if you've tried to eat your daily serving of vitamins and minerals and protein in a day, but that's a lot of food if you get it from really good food. It's a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruit, and a lot of protein. So I just share that with you because I thought, to me, that really reiterated my idea of the fact that supplementation is really important. When I started Plexus, I was on probiotics, but I was still having heartburn. I was still having anxiety. I was still having headaches. I was actually starting to have more reoccurring headaches. And so that tells me that my supplements it wasn't doing what it was supposed to for me. And when I started taking the triplex system, which I'm going to talk about here in just a second, that is when I started seeing those changes. So how many of you guys, I'm going to list off a few symptoms here, and I would love you to kind of think about how many I mentioned that you may struggle with or have previously struggled with. And then I'd love for you to type it in the chat. So weight gain or obesity, inflammation, bloating, anxiety, memory problems or brain fog, chronic fatigue, cold hands and feet, PMS issues, headaches, night sweats, mood swings, asthma or allergies, thyroid issues, sugar cravings that are uncontrollable. How many of you guys put those in the chat? How many of those do you have? All of that, Megan says. Thank you for being honest, Megan. Same. When I started, I was for sure like, I didn't realize those were problems because we live with them for so long. Yeah, 7 or 8. You guys, we get so used to living, not feeling well, and we weren't ever designed to live that way. So the triplex system is the foundational system that Plexus has that, in my opinion, the reason it works so beautifully together is because, to me, Plexus has the most beautiful picture of what medicine should be. And what that looks like is you have holistic doctors, you have nutritionalists, you have naturopath doctors, you have physical medical doctors, you have scientists and dietitians, and they all work together. How many of you feel like that's like the beautiful picture of medicine, or at least it should be, right? To me, medicine should be all of those people working together. And that's what I intend to continue to try to preach. Because I think it's so imperative that our doctors and our physicians realize that people are wanting to understand their bodies and know why it's good to be, taking care of ourselves naturally also. And so all of those different things, all those people came together and they created the triplex, which is the foundational system that Plexus has that I personally believe everybody should be started on. The triplex system is one that basically it is a probiotic, it is a prebiotic blend, and then it is also a product that is called BioCleanse that helps to pull out toxins. So if you can imagine your intestines is like a garden, right? If you just plant a bunch of seeds and then you feed those seeds, that's great, right? That's fantastic. It works beautifully. But then what happens over time? If we don't take care of that garden, we don't weed that garden, you have weeds that grow up. And eventually, I experienced this personally last year. Your weeds grow up and then they choke out all of your garden. So that's what we don't want to do. And that's what we end up doing with the type of food that we eat. If you think about how we eat in this world, even if you eat really healthy, we've already proven that you can't get all the nutrients that your body needs through the amount of food that we used to be able to consume, right? And so supplementation is very important in that. And with your gut microbiome, if you are eating and ingesting food, you need to constantly be pulling out inflammation and toxins that are coming in from the environment, from that food, from all of that stuff that sits in us. One of the things that I always remember and that I really like to mention also at this point in time is when you are, when you're sick or when you're struggling, did you guys know that 90% of your immune system is formed in your gut? So if 90% of your immune system is formed in your gut, if your gut is more full of toxins and bad bacteria than it is good bacteria, a lot of times that's why we're all sick or we catch things easily or we chronically have all of these symptoms. So also another fun fact for you, your hormones, 70% of those are balanced in the gut, specifically serotonin. So if you guys think about how many mental health struggles we have in this world right now, think of the diet that we all have, right? We all have the ability to have food at our fingertips. And the quality of food that we have at our fingertips is terrible. And when we're potentially, on the track of just ingesting that really quickly and not really taking care of the inside of us, eventually that bad bacteria builds up and it causes us to get sick over time. That's when we start having diseases or symptoms that are causing us to feel bad. So those are like, if you guys find anybody who invited you here tonight, you could probably go to their pages and you can see a lot of testimonies of some of the things that Plexus has turned around for people. And it is truly one of the most awe-inspiring and most, best parts of my day because I truly get to touch people's lives to the point where their lives are changed. I used to work in the hospital and get to experience helping them in that moment. And I loved helping them in that moment, but walking alongside and actually changing the trajectory of a person's quality of life is one of the most inspiring things I have ever done in my life. Like it's one of the most, I don't know, it just fills my cup beyond everything. And so a couple different opportunities I wanted to go over really quick. Number one of the biggest things that was a huge concern to me when I got started was cost. And for me, I couldn't afford to add $50 a month to our budget, not to mention the triplex itself is about $140 a month. And if you break that down, you guys, it sounds like a lot because it comes out at one time, but the average Starbucks drink costs $6 a day. The average, some of those energy drinks are typically like $3 to $4 a can. And so it depends on how many of those you're drinking a day or how many of those you're consuming a week. Because triplex, if you break that down, is only I did this just the other day because I wanted to make sure I was telling somebody correctly. I think it's $3.61 a day. Is your health worth $3.61 a day? Is the health of your family worth $3.61 a day? Because that was it for me. The first month that I started taking these products, Cassie told me about the referral system. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details about the referral system. We have a really great Zoom call that goes over the referral system on Monday or on Sundays. And if you guys want that information on how you can help get your products paid for, get with the person that invited you here tonight and we will get you on that call on Sunday because it is a huge blessing. It's not a business that you have to do. It's basically just sharing in a referral system that blesses you in return. And it is a beautiful system because it helps pay for your products on a monthly basis. Within my first month, you guys, I had my products paid for. Plus I was able to get products for my family the next month. That's how much. That's like if you add that up, that's $280. I made over $280 in my first month by just referrals because people want to feel better. People need healthy options and they need products that work. And I think that's the biggest thing that Plexus really holds above a lot of places is you could go to the pharmacy and find the 20 different products that you need that combats all of the stuff that's in the triplex, but you won't get the high quality and you'll probably spend a lot more. So I love trusting the doctors that we have because they have invested time into finding what works. And it truly, truly is very transformative for people. So real quick, two more things. First of all, our reset, it's a detox box. If you're looking for really fast results or getting to feeling better and really giving your body a good detox, that is a really good option to start with. That one is a 3-day cleanse. Basically, it's you're trading food for nutrition for 3 days, and it is a really powerful tool. So that is a really, really good one I like to talk about. The last thing I want to mention on here before we let you go, we have a really fun challenge that's starting at the beginning of May. So if you know of anybody that you would like to get healthy with or that struggles with health and you're like, you know what, I love this. I think this person would love this. We're going to have another call next Thursday and we're going to be talking more about this, but it is called an Energy and Depuff Challenge. So how many of you guys here tonight can benefit from more energy? I know I always can. I'm like, by this time of night, I'm like, okay, it's about time for bed, which is good. I feel like that's pretty appropriate. But the Energy and Depuff Challenge is one of our most popular ones. We have not done it in a really long time. And I'm super excited to bring it to you guys because it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a group that will put you in. It is going to be $5 in addition to the cost of your products. It'll be $5 to enter into that because we're going to do a couple cash prize drawings. So it's going to be a lot of fun in that round. And we're going to be on there encouraging everybody and telling you how to take your supplements. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if that sounds like something you would like to take advantage of and get a good idea of how these products can be really powerful for you guys in your life, please get with a person who invited you here tonight. I am done with my education side of this. I am curious if any of you have any questions that you would like to ask. I try to leave a couple minutes for that. And I know we're running a little bit on the later side, but I'll take like maybe 1 or 2 questions if anybody has any. Don't all everybody go at once.
I don't have any questions, but I wanted to kind of add to, when you talk about inflammation, I should add to that, to my journey with that, with hypothyroidism. A lot of patients with hypothyroidism have Hashimoto's. I am both of those. I did have my thyroid removed about 10 years ago. I have struggled with swelling, inflammation due to all of that. I cannot live without my Ease. The Ease is a game changer. I ran out. I have not had any the last couple of days, and I will tell you, I'm struggling. I am struggling in a big way. So, amongst with, the triplex, that Ease is a game changer. If you are struggling with stiffness, swelling, anything like that, that Ease will help you with your autoimmune. It is a game changer. So I just wanted to add that. Sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Ease is a powerful anti-inflammatory and it has been beneficial to a lot of people. I would give you some of mine, Amy, but I just gave some to a friend of mine who's having to have surgery in a couple weeks.
That's
so
okay. I ordered some today, so it'll be here in a few days.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, I am going to go ahead and get us off of here. Thank you so much again. I appreciate your time. It is such an honor to come and try to give you some good education. Gut health has become something that's very near and dear to my heart. And it is only because of the power that it has to make people feel the best that they should feel. And so thank you again for coming. Please get with the person that invited you tonight, especially if you have questions or they'll be getting in touch with you. And we will talk to you soon. Have a good night, guys. Bye. Thanks again, Amy.
You're welcome.